Thank you, Hugo. Good evening, and shalom aleichem. It's a great pleasure to be here with you tonight to celebrate the ties between our countries and the very best of UK-Israel business. Now, Golda Meir said that Israelis only have one complaint about Moses, that he led the Jews through the desert for 40 years and finally stopped in the one place in the Middle East that doesn't have any oil. But I guess that necessity is the mother of invention, because over the past 67 years, Israel has made business bloom in the barren desert. It's one of the many reasons I have long admired the country. I've traveled there extensively, both for business and with family. And over the years, I've taken a great interest in its affairs, because the values that have made Israel such a success are values that matter a great deal to me. I share Israel's love for freedom and for democracy. I admire its tenacious determination when the odds are stacked against it. And like millions of Israelis, I have a mother who's still waiting for me to get a proper job. So we have a lot in common. And that's why I'm heartened at the growth of British and Israeli trade links. Business has always been a part of my life, not just the 20 years that I spent in international banking, but the heart and soul of my childhood growing up in a small flat above the family shop. And throughout that time, I've seen how business can do a great many things. I don't just mean provide jobs and local growth. It lifts individuals, it lifts communities, and even countries to the very best that they can be. That's why tonight we should celebrate the ever closer business links between Britain and Israel. The total value of trade and services between our two countries is now well over £4.5 billion a year. Last year alone, 25 Israeli companies set up and expanded their operations in the UK. Israeli-owned Cinema City, for example, amalgamated with the UK's own Cineworld. The Helios Energy Fund committed £30 million to set up 30 biomass installations in the UK. And the Noi Fund announced plans to invest £50 million in UK waste-to-energy projects. There are now over 300 Israeli companies with a physical presence right here in the UK, responsible for thousands of jobs. But this is not just a one-way street. Great British businesses like HSBC, GSK, Barclays, Rolls-Royce, and many others have invested over £1 billion in Israel. Our exports to Israel are increasing rapidly, and the UK is Israel's second biggest export market. In addition, we've seen a significant increase in the number of Israeli companies showing interest in raising capital on the London Stock Exchange. 9 Israeli companies carried out IPOs on the LSE just last year, second only to the UK itself. So the past few years have been a golden era for Anglo-Israeli business. What really excites me are the possibilities for the years that lie ahead. Collaboration on science and technology is the cornerstone of our shared relationship. As we all know in this room, only Silicon Valley can rival Israel when it comes to developing leading-edge technologies. We look towards Israel to benefit from its world-leading expertise in cybersecurity. And equally, we want to support Israel as it exploits recent discoveries of natural gas in its own waters through strategic partnerships, project finance, and supply chains. And we must continue to work together on achieving medical breakthroughs, whether through BIRACS, that's the British-Israel Research and Academic Exchange Partnership, or as GSK and Technion are doing, or the NHS and Teva Pharmaceuticals through a £12.5 million joint venture agreement. The UK-Israel Tech Hub in the British Embassy in Tel Aviv has also fostered promising collaborations in agriculture, water technologies, and in finance, with 14 Israeli startups coming to London this March to meet major city players. And initiatives like the Israel Investor Summit are helping to bring together businesses in both of our countries. It's a great relationship, and not one that we should ever take for granted. But sometimes we do. You may have heard that Britain's National Union of Students recently passed a motion committing itself to a complete boycott of Israel. Last year, the very same body rejected a motion calling for a boycott of ISIL, which I think speaks volumes. Last December, as Culture Secretary, I made a speech to Britain's National Union of Jewish Students. And I told them that I had no time for the boycott campaign. Because for me, freedom is an absolute concept. At the time, I was speaking of artistic freedom. But today, I talk of the freedom to trade, the freedom to go about your business in peace. Today, I talk of the idea that underpins the entire political philosophy that I hold, that of free enterprise. It simply doesn't make sense to say, I believe in the free market, but. So let me be very clear. I don't believe in boycotts. Nor, I'm proud to say, does my party, my Prime Minister, or for the most part, my country. On the contrary, my department, including UKTI, will be working hard to boost Anglo-Israeli trade and investment. And I, as Business Secretary, will do anything I can to support and to promote it. So my message to you is clear. Where there are business opportunities, we should actively explore them. Just as the winners of tonight's awards have done so to such great effect. And let me, if I may, just pick out and single out Sir Harry Solomon for his award this evening. Congratulations. We look forward to working with our Israeli partners in the future. Thank you very much, and Toda Rabah. Thank you.